Hello, everyone. Welcome to Dugout Daily. I'm Charlie, and I'm joined by Bernard. How are you, mate?
I'm fine, Charlie. Thanks for having on. Going to enjoy this tonight, no doubt.
Yeah. Another blue. Patrick, how are you, mate?
I'm good. Sorry, man. I was trying to set up the computer, but I can't log into StreamYard through the computer. It's refusing me. I don't get it. So I just went on my phone. So that's why I was a bit late.
Yeah, no worries. We're joined by a few Reds as well. Maisy, how are you?
I'm good, thanks, Charlie. How are you? And thanks for having me on.
I'm good.
Put on your subtitles now.
Oh God. We're joined by Red Devil Studio. How are you, mate?
Thank you. Still at work, representing United, the only English club to win a treble. Just put it out there. The only English club to win a treble.
Wrong again.
Just put it out there. So just go on, so it is what it is, in the recent era. So yeah.
Quadruple, mate. Hey, get in.
Only domestic, nothing in Europe.
As I said before the stream, the Carabao Cup is clear anyway.
That's the Pep Guardiola's Lover Cup.
And we got Conor from Yank talking smack. How are you, mate?
I'm doing all right. It's early, but watching the F1, so it's a nice little start to my Friday.
Yeah. So we'll start with the Blues, Bernard and Patrick. First question, how's the season gone so far? We'll start with you, Bernard.
Yeah, I think it's all right. Obviously, we're a bit up and down, I think, to be honest with you. Not everything's quite working, to be honest with you, but I think we're a little bit more confident just before the last international break. I think we've been a bit stuttery afterwards, certainly with the Carabao Cup and then Palace coming and doing us in, to be honest with you. But we're still okay. But yeah, there's certainly plenty of room for improvement, isn't there, mate? Let's be honest about it.
Yeah, definitely. Same question to you, Patrick. How do you think the season's gone so far?
I think we talked about this yesterday when we were on Rich Sports, and I said the season has been up and down. The same thing as Charlie's saying. Like, it's been for a minute there after Chelsea and Liverpool. I thought, okay, no one is going to touch us. We're just going to steam ahead, and we're going to do the whole Man City thing where we don't stop winning. But now it looks like we still have a bit of cobwebs to get rid of, because that Christopher's game was frustrating and the worst red card I've ever seen.
Lose to Crystal Palace as well.
Yeah, that red card was not supposed to be a red card. That's what I feel. I think it was too soft. The ref watch said it was too soft. So look, we came back in the Champions League. We didn't play very well the first half, but second half we go back to playing well. So it's been up and down. It's not 100% there yet, but we'll get there. I believe we'll get there. Probably we'll start with United tomorrow at 12 o'clock, at half 12. Yeah.
Up and down sounds like Norwich whenever they try and play football.
No, that's up and down between the divisions, not while they're playing.
That's right. That's a good point. Thank you.
Same question to the United fans. We'll start with Maisy. How's United's season been so far?
To be honest, it's been up and down for us also, I'd say. We've had them couple of games where we played good. There's been them couple of games where we played bad.
More down.
Yeah, more down than it is up at the moment. But I'm hoping that it does start to pick up, and it does start from your game.
Oh, please no. We'll go to you. We will have predictions at the end of the stream, so we'll be hearing that. We'll go to you, Conor. How's United's season been so far, in your opinion?
As much as people are just saying this is an absolute disaster of a season, it's not nearly as bad as people actually are saying it is. We're still not very far off top. If we hit a run, look at City. City, you guys had a terrible first half of the season. Don't even come at me saying you didn't, because you guys had a terrible first half last year. And you guys ended up winning the whole entire thing.
You're not going to get an argument there, mate. I mean,
yeah,
don't worry about it.
Terrible first half.
Nah, don't tell me you're going to bring that. You're going to compare your team.
I'm just saying it's not late enough in the season to where it can't be something we bounce back from and get a very good end of the season, because you guys had a very bad start to the season but ended up winning the entire thing. I'm not comparing, saying our situations are the exact same. I'm just saying the starts are similar with how the results are very up and down. You guys lost to Leicester on the opening day last year and had a very up and down year. And then the second half, you guys took off and weren't able to lose until, of course, you faced us and then we beat you. But I'm honestly ready to put a couple quid on West Ham to win the entire freaking Carabao Cup. They've taken out us. They've taken out you guys. Next, I have a feeling they'll take out Liverpool, and then there's nobody standing in their way because, of course, Spurs isn't going to do anything. Burnley's going to do nothing. So I'm ready to put on a couple quid on them to win the entire thing. But no, I think it's, for as much as we think it's been terrible and as much as everybody's going to go, oh, Ronaldo saved Ole, that's his job. Ronaldo's job is to play well. It's like if you have Sergio Aguero when he was with City, he bangs in 10 goals. And the reason, it's like Mohamed Salah with Liverpool. They've said right now, without Mohamed Salah at Liverpool's below us in the league. Isn't that the whole job of the players, especially world-class players, is to perform well and to get you results? When tactics fail, which happens quite a lot, unfortunately, with us, you have to have the individual brilliance. And we've had that. You can't say that it's luck or that he's saving the job. That's the job. If you're a player, especially a world-class player like Ronaldo, that's your job. So we're top of the Champions League group right now. We're still in the top 10 in the league, which is higher than we were at this point last year. Yeah, we're out of the Carabao Cup. The FA Cup is still there. Champions League is still there. It's way too early to be calling this a bust season.
Yeah. A Chelsea fan has said Man City will win 5-0. I mean, I'll happily see it, but I don't see it happening, to be honest. We'll go to you then, Red Devil Studio. Thoughts on United's season so far?
I think the big reason why a lot of United fans are sorry. First, can you hear me, guys? Okay.
Yeah, I can hear you, man.
Okay, cool. Okay, yeah. So I think the big reason why a lot of United fans are actually frustrated this season is not so much that we are is the position. I think it was the expectation. So I think a lot of United fans, when we signed Sancho, Ronaldo, and Varane, the expectation was that we'd just be competing from the get-go and we were playing really good football. The reality is that the football the United played, to be honest, is not that great. It's probably the worst I've seen in a while in terms of quality. And it seems that, like, we've been losing a lot of games that, to be honest, we should have been winning, like against that other rival teams have won, i.e., at least not losing to Leicester, beating like Sevilla, holding on, beating Everton, and so on. So that's, I think, where the frustration is coming from, and the fact that Ole Gunnar Solskjaer appears to not be learning his lesson, and this was just compounded by the 5-0 loss at Liverpool. Like the biggest loss at home to Liverpool since before the war. So understandably, a lot of United fans are very, very frustrated. I'm kind of in the boat where, like, the reality, I'm more of a realist, and I knew from the beginning of the season that Ole Gunnar Solskjaer wasn't going to get sacked unless he missed out on top 4. So my expectations were set towards that. And also the fact that I didn't actually think the signings were, I'm going to put this, strategical. I think they were signings, but unlike, say, a City or Liverpool or Chelsea or more so even a Bayern, it was just signings for the sake of signings. Like, there wasn't actually any real strategy to get those signings. We just happened to sign the players.
I'd say Varane was a good signing, but I would say I agree with you on Sancho being, we've been going after him for 2 years, so we have to finally get Ronaldo.
I don't mean any of the signings aren't good signings. I mean, like, when you look at the circumstances around the signings, like, we spent 2 years. United spent 2 years trying to get Sancho. He was actually he should have been a last summer signing. We got him on the cheap, which the players are happy about. And Varane, we only were really able to. It wasn't like we were scouting him. We only were able to get him because he declined to sign a new contract extension with Real. Had he signed it, we wouldn't have been able to get Varane. So there was no scouting involved. And then Ronaldo, because Ronaldo decided he wants to leave Juve. So it wasn't like, oh, we had gone out, scouted all these players, had a plan. Let's get these targets. Okay, we can't get that. This is our second choice. It was just, oh, this player's available now. Just happens to be okay. It's a good big name. They'll make the fans happy. We'll get them. And so United, compared to other teams, they just don't have that
Yeah, I mean, there's no
strategy sort of
there
in
doesn't
mind.
seem to be any from our point of view. There doesn't seem to be any forward thinking with United.
Exactly.
We have plans, and obviously on the
Exactly.
basis, I think that they don't expect the managers to be there long, but he keeps hanging in there, doesn't he? And they keep,
Well-
they're just starting with a new slate every season, saying, "Oh well, we'll get him because he's become available." There's no real long-term plans at the moment. That's
Exactly.
where United are falling down.
Exactly. That's exactly summarized it. That's the big thing. Because even if the manager comes or goes, if you have a long-term plan, it's easy for someone to come into that. Unfortunately, United don't. But as for this game, I mean, like, it's a Manchester derby. At the end of the day, anything can happen. But of course, City are clearly, like, they go in every season that Ollie has been here. City are always favourites to win this tie. So it's what it is.
Well, in
Yeah.
United, I just saw breaking news that hit United. That's not going to be very good. Not very helpful for us coming into this weekend.
What's happened? I know Varane's injured.
Cavani's been withdrawn from the national team due to medical reasons, which means there's a very high possibility that we do not have him come the weekend.
Well, I thought you were going to say Ollie's been sacked then. I was gutted then, mate.
Oh God,
Man. So
That's where we get
so
bantered about Ollie almost as much as you guys get bantered for never winning a Champions League.
that's true. Well said. Well said.
Got a
well
Cup Winners'
said,
Cup.
you
I've
know,
got a Cup Winners' Cup. We'll take that.
Cup Winners' Cup, man. So
Conor,
I'll take
The biggest
you know what?
trophy in Europe. Yeah. Okay.
You know what? For saying that, I hope tomorrow we batter you. I hope we just.
I hope that anyway.
I would hope as a City fan that you'd want to batter us no matter what.
Oh, I have a lot of agendas for this match because every time you guys have played us, look, when you play us in the cup, I am at work. When you play us in the league, I'm in a pub with United fans who are my friends, and there's two of us who are City fans, and the United fans, they just take a piss. Like they don't care what position they are. As soon as you guys beat us, it's the whole week.
Forms out the window when it comes to rivalries.
So this time I'm just waiting that I'm like payback. I'm just hoping.
I'm not looking forward to I'm not looking forward to how early in the morning the game starts. That's for sure, though.
It is.
Yeah.
It's too early even for us. 12:30. I hate 12:30 starts. Anyway,
5:30 a.m. 5:30 a.m. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, you said something about Salah before, Conor, which reminded me of saying something like, "If your auntie had balls, she'd be your uncle."
Exactly, and that's what people go with when they say that Ronaldo's the whole reason we're good. It's like that's a job of the team. Like when you buy good players, their job is to perform. Is that not why you bought Bernardo Silva? Is that not why you bought Kun Aguero? Is that not the reason that you bought Ruben Diaz? Good players get good results.
But it's not the same. The way you're getting them, it's not the same, though.
Stop us getting in.
It's just I just hate the whole Ronaldo say. It's like no, he was the top scorer, and I mean I'm sorry to the Chelsea fans who are going to hate me because Lukaku's God apparently, but he was outscored by Ronaldo last year in the Serie A. Ronaldo's coming off 38 games. He's not washed. This is his job. He's good at scoring goals, so obviously he's going to come over to the Premier League and score goals. That's why I hate the whole notion that he's saving his job and that he's, the only reason we're where we're at is because of Ronaldo. It's like
it's like people ignore what he did at Juve in his final season. Like his goals are the reason why they're playing in the Champions League. Like and you can see now he's left. Where are Juve? They're 16 points behind first.
In the mud.
Like and in the mud. So like it's like I think it's just that people. I don't know what it is. I just think that. I'm not going to debate the whole Ronaldo Messi thing. I don't want to do that, something like that. So, but like, what people should be able to agree on is that Ronaldo is like an utmost professional. This is not a guy that just goes around downing tools, not interested, whatever. Like he's competitive. He wants to score. He wants to win. He wants to score goals. And I think generally, like, I would like to be in a world where more footballers, just in general. Like, I'm not saying they're going to have good games all the time, but sometimes you're like. You guys are paid a lot of money to like say a comparison I would have is like Harry Kane, for example. Like from what I've seen, I'm not anti-English or anything like that, but from what I've seen, he doesn't look like he's being a professional, even if he doesn't have a bit of help. So, like, it shouldn't be a surprise. It should be expected that footballers act as professionals and they play the game that they're paid for.
Yeah,
like,
I'll just say,
Can I ask you guys something? Can I let's be honest. Stop buttering this up. If Ronaldo's in my team and doing what he's doing, it's a bloody carry job. That's a carry job. Salah right now, there's a point in time Salah has carried Liverpool. Admit it. Aguero carried us at a point in time. We admit it. But what Ronaldo is doing is, I get it's Ronaldo, but it's inevitable what he's doing. That's the same thing why I'm laughing at Juve fans, because they wanted him out. But I was telling them, he's carrying you guys. They're like, no, he's not. Like
his 38 goals aren't carrying us. That's exactly
but guys, be honest though. He's carried you in those games.
The thing
That's
though
a carry job.
But the thing is, you
job.
have to look at it from. Okay, I'll ask you then. Why did you buy Ederson? Was it to get more clean sheets because he's a better goalkeeper than who you had? He's a better goalkeeper than Joe. You know, you buy a goalkeeper to get clean sheets. You buy a striker to score goals. You buy a midfielder to be able to make passes. I know that hasn't very much happened with us with our two defensive midfielders, but Bruno has been exactly what we bought him for, which is to control the midfield and get a ton of chances created and a ton of assists. You buy players to do certain things. We bought a striker in Ronaldo. He's now scoring goals, which is the reason we bought him. You guys bought Ederson a couple of years ago to get more clean sheets, and look what happened. You got more clean sheets. Should we be saying that he's carrying you guys because he's been able to keep more goals up in that?
No, there's a difference. It's the way it's the way you're playing. It's the way you're playing. It's the way it shows up. Yeah, what's up?
Patrick, a better question is to ask, like, what is the £100 million player Jack Grealish doing at the club right now? That's a better question. Let's start there in terms of what's going on. Is that okay?
Can I also ask mine?
From the City fans, I'm just curious. You have to answer the question first, Patrick.
I will. So he's got 2 assists and 2 goals. What the hell is Sancho doing? What is Sancho doing?
Barcelona's on a madness right now.
Look at him, he's changing the cap.
No. I've got my Twitter up, and Luke De Jong is apparently already being sold in January because he was literally a Ronald Koeman signing to the T. Like, Ronald Koeman's the only reason he was there, and now apparently Newcastle's just put in a bid of $55 million for Ter Stegen.
55 million for who?
Ter Stegen, the goalie.
He can't go to Newcastle. Anyway, before you deflect it, what is Sancho doing? Guys,
Sancho's having a nightmare. But the thing
do you know what's happening this season? We said this. I think Charlie, I think we were talking about this. This season, all the new signings have to just be forgiven. Ronaldo, we don't count him. We put him on the side. But Lukaku, it's not working out. Another 100 is not working out.
His first touch is awful.
Yeah, but at least Lukaku and Grealish put in goals and assists. While if we go at Sancho 008 now or 009 at this point in time, I don't know which double he is, right? He's doing nothing.
I'm sorry, Nippon, and I'm sorry to Amit, but how did Kai Havertz go for your first year that you had him, right? Just the 1 goal in the Champions League, right? I think it's honestly, when it comes to it, you have to also put in and Ronaldo, like you said, we're gonna put him off to the side. He's a special, Yeah,
he's too special.
He's just Ronaldo.
Yeah,
you have to put a difference in signing a player from a Premier League team and signing a team from a foreign team. Grealish came from a Premier League team. This has been his bread and butter for years.
And also,
Bundesliga.
Can we just put in, guys? Can we just
go ahead. Go
on, we're arguing.
Can I just talk about Grealish? Where are you getting this fact that he's not doing very well? He's been one of our best players so far this season. Don't believe all the garbage you've been hearing the last few days about, he's upset. He's been one of City's outstanding. I've got his ratings here. He's been one of City's outstanding players.
Has he got a DUI yet?
So I'm quite happy with Grealish, and most fans are. You'll get the idiots who aren't. Of course you will. But, considering he's coming to a new team, a new style of play, he's doing a fantastic job for me, and I'll defend him to the hill. And I don't know where the links are and why you've even brought Grealish into the conversation, because he's doing an excellent job. Of course, he cost 100 million.
Just keep him from
we know
driving.
why he cost 100 million, because he's English, and obviously we just had to pay that sort of money. But hey, he's doing a good job, Grealish, and I don't want anyone having a downer on him saying he isn't.
As long as you keep him out of driving a car, you should be okay.
The
same with Chilwell.
Chilwell's on fire.
Charlie, let's get onto the derby, mate. Come on, we're going all over the place here.
Talking about the derby, we're going to start with good memories instead of depression. Best Manchester derby memories. We'll start with the City fans because I don't want to be depressed. Bernard first, go on.
Yeah, when I was a young lad in the late 60s, obviously even though United had won the European Cup at that stage, we actually dominated most seasons, so I enjoyed that. But then we had a bit of a lull, didn't we? Let's be honest about it. From about the 80s onwards, 80s, 90s, etc. So we hark back, of course, to the famous 5-1 at Main Road, obviously the demolition derby back. I think that was near November, wasn't it? Around about that time. But my favourite, I'll be honest with you, my favourite is a 1-1 draw at Old Trafford because it was my first derby that I took my son to at Old Trafford. He'd never been to Old Trafford before. And we stood in the Stretford End paddock with about 300 or 400 other City fans. All blue balloons of going over the Stretford End. It was absolutely fantastic. And Keith Curle equalised with a penalty, and it's a 1-1. So that would have to, even though obviously there's a lot better than that, we took the 6-1s, etc. That for me, from a personal point of view, from a fan's point of view, taking my lad to his first Swamp Derby, that was sort of the highlight for me, to be honest with you.
I was going to say, I didn't know that City had that many fans.
Well, you just knew that was going to happen.
Yeah.
Same question to you, Patrick. What's your favourite Manchester derby memory?
It'll always be the one I'm about to say. Will always be mine because the piss take was high level, and this is the reason why I loved Balotelli. Why always me shirt coming out? That I'll never forget that. That was the best. And I remember I sat there. I was like, "Who the hell is this guy?" Like I watched him. I know he did that silly stuff. When the friendly match where he backheeled it and missed it. Like that guy. Like I hope. I always pray that one day he just comes back for the sake of it. And he had, even though people used to say it's crazy, but he understood what it is, to play against United. That's why I'm going to say this. I'm a bit disappointed these days. And I think we talked about it, that United players and City players right now seem to be more friendly to each other, nice to each other, talking in the tunnel. I know it's old school to be enemies, but at least show a bit of anger. While that same anger that's supposed to be towards United, it looks like, I don't know, Chad, if you can agree with me, that anger is going towards Liverpool. These days, it's Liverpool who are getting that anger. Like, they hate Liverpool. Our players, you can see that when it's a Liverpool game, or myself, when I sit down in a pub, when it's Liverpool versus City, I am shaking. I am sitting there shaking, and even Liverpool fans are shaking. But when it's United, either we win or lose. These days, just because of how things are going, I just sit there and say, it's United, we'll move on. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know if it's because United is no longer as good as they were. They're just like Crystal Palace with a better name. But anyway, okay, I had to throw that in. Okay, basically what I'm saying is Balotelli's moment of why he owes me, I will never forget that. And reminding me of that, I'm going to look for that shirt and wear it everywhere I am, even on every podcast I do. I'm going to wear that why he owes me shirt. I'm going to try to find it. So that was the best moment because this piss take. A lot of United fans were very unhappy, and the players were also very unhappy after he took that shirt off. So I don't know. That's for me.
Yeah, we'll go to the United fans now. Maisy, best Manchester derby memory.
There's been a few Manchester derbies where I think absolutely amazing. There's a couple in particular for me. One for me is the Rooney overhead kick. That was absolutely
The
stunning.
shinner.
Yeah, when he shinned it, that one. I remember
Don't be jealous about that one.
Look.
Don't like bitterness.
Well, Charlie has it on his introduction, so I mean, we have to suffer it all the time anyway.
I didn't make that flame.
Charlie secretly likes it.
Yeah, we have to see your ugly
I
kids.
hate that scumbag.
We have to see.
Despising.
We have to see City's ugly third kid every time you guys play in it. Where's your badge, by the way?
Just at the back.
Yeah. To you now, Conor. Best Manchester derby memory.
Probably I'm gonna do. The overhead kick's a great one, but I'm gonna go with the 3-2 comeback victory with Paul Pogba scoring 2. That was absolutely beautiful. And then for me, another one was I think 08-09 was a great year because you guys had won, like, you beat us in both Manchester derbies the year before that in 07-08, and we came back and won 1-0 with a weird handball with Ronaldo, and then won the second game 2-0 with a Ronaldo goal and a Tevez goal, and that was. The goal at the 2-0 at Old Trafford was the first United game, the first derby I'd ever watched live that wasn't highlights or something like that. I was like 9 years old, and it was like the first one I'd ever watched. It was me and my father sitting down in front of the TV super early in the morning to watch it. So that's always like a big one for me, is a 2-0 at Old Trafford.
Yeah, I forgot about the Benjani one when you mentioned that in 07-08 when beat you twice.
Yeah.
Next up, then Red Devil Studio, best Manchester derby memory.
Ooh. Yeah, it's a difficult one because I think two of the ones that I'd mentioned, I think I've mentioned, obviously the Wayne Rooney, I think that was 2012 if I recall, and then the Pogba one was pretty good as well actually. There was, I think, the 4-3 in I think 2009. I think that's the year after Ronaldo which was pretty good actually. I think Owen Hargreaves was still playing. Those are probably the ones that if I'm going to say top three, those are probably the ones that stand out to me. Pogba's that was some game. but I think it's more so because like, and why I put the Pogba one is it's just because it was the one time in a while where like that you saw that fight, you saw that aggression, you saw Gabriel Jesus you saw fights. Pogba was angry. Smalling was angry. Fernandinho was angry. There was a lot of emotion there, which you haven't really seen a lot of Manchester derbies, as opposed to say when we played Liverpool in the past, because Liverpool are more of a direct rival. So yeah, I think the Pogba one for me is probably the best one.
I also got to say thank you to Ederson for rolling that ball out to McTominay for him to just easily score an open net. That was beautiful. I got to say,
I was
hats
going
off
to mention that as well,
one.
and it was like the 90+6 minute. It was just an
exactly
screamer.
Do you see how they're excited with this little moments? This is why I hate our team now. We have to do something. This is the moments I hear every day now. They're like, but at the end of the day, McTominay scored. Or by the end of the day, Pogba, that comeback, we stopped you from winning the league. Look, for me, this is why I wish I was in that dressing room. I'll tell them, please, guys, I'm on my knees. Destroy them. Don't let go. Make sure.
Don't destroy them. Destroy them.
You say destroy them, but then again, I think you guys lost both of them last year, didn't you?
No, there was a draw at Old Trafford.
That's right, yeah.
At the Etihad. So I think league-wise, Ollie has it over Pep, doesn't he?
Yeah, Ollie.
We beat you 2-0 in 2019, didn't we? 2-0 in one.
I think in Ollie's first game against City, I think we lost. But ever since then, like aside from the cup,
drawn.
I think we've pretty much won or drawn the rest of the games.
So just bring in a new manager, but only bring Ole back for derby days, because apparently that's the only thing he consistently will win.
I think Ollie's won 4, lost 3, and drawn 1. I think from memory, from league and cup. To be honest with you,
yeah, I think that sounds about right. League and cup, but I think league we pretty much have got. I think we're like 4-1 or something like that.
We always beat you in the league games, in the cup games, don't we? We always beat you in the cup.
Yeah, the cup games we always lose.
In the Carabao Cup, you've beaten us twice. Because the one time when it was just one game, and the other one it was a league. And then I think isn't that it? And then so 2 in the cup and then 1 in the league. But every other time we've either won or drawn. Yeah.
So what's yours, Charlie? I mean, I forgot, obviously, the FA Cup semi-final. That was a nice little win, wasn't it, as well? I forgot all about that 1-0 win. When the things turned, didn't they? What's yours, Charlie? What do you think?
I'd say the 6-1. I think it's got to be the 6-1 with David Silva goal. That great assist for the 6th one for Edin Dzeko. The why always me.
The person I'm happy is left City. Fucking hated David Silva. He frustrated the shit out of me watching him because he was so good.
I think what I liked about that one as well was the glum faces over that 34-year banner that sat there watching it. I think that was one of the best pictures ever on the internet when you saw all those miserable, sad, well, the ones that were still left, mind you, watching it above that banner, you know what I mean? That banner of 34 years. A classy team, United, always have been.
Yeah, that 3-2 game where Pogba scored was 2-0 in my books anyway.
Did you go at half time?
It was past his bedtime.
I think if I remember, the plan was that you guys were supposed to like win the league by beating Manchester United. And what we said was, screw you guys, you can't do that on our watch. And then we just made it difficult for you to celebrate in front of your fans.
It was 2-0 for Charlie because Charlie had to go to bed during halftime. It was past his bedtime.
I think the game after he got beat home by West Bromwich Albion or something, didn't you? I think after that. So there you go. It lasted a long time.
You won the league already, but it was just nice that you couldn't bump it in our faces.
Red Devil. But the funny thing is this. The funny thing is this. You stopped us from winning the league then, but the most painful one is when you guys thought you won the league and then Aguero scored that goal.
I'm muting you.
Of course. Aguero. Yeah, everyone remembers that Aguero moment. So that was.
I still have
can't hate
nightmares
that.
sometimes. I can't. It's fair. It's fair play. Like,
Yeah,
hey,
it
those
was their
kind of
first
results where
Premier League.
we
It was their
won,
first
too.
Premier League title as well. Like they've never
Yeah.
experienced that Premier League title winning, so you had to kind of like.
Yeah, they had a slip and slide. They had an
Appreciate that,
oil
you
slip
know.
and slide in the locker room.
Okay, moving on.
Yeah.
Rashid donated some oil for a slip and slide to celebrate.
Right, we'll move on. We'll start with Bernard. The main players to look out for the opposition. We'll go to you first, Bernard.
Well, I think Ronaldo scored 3 in the last 5 derby games. So obviously going back when he was a young nipper, obviously. But yeah, I mean, they've all got the ability. The thing I don't like about United is that they can be rubbish, but they do have people who can just, like Ronaldo, who can just turn it on and score a goal, don't they? So I'm not really worried about that many of them, to be honest with you. I just expect Ronaldo to score at least 1 goal. I'm just hoping it's going to be a consolation goal, to be honest with you, tomorrow. That's all I can hope, really. I'm not too worried about it. It's not a bad team. I'm looking at it now, what I think might be playing tomorrow. It's not a bad team, but as far as we play, as we know we can play, I don't think it's a big problem. Just keep Ronaldo quiet, and hopefully we should be okay.
Yeah. Same question to you, Patrick.
Yeah, for the opposition, I think it's there's no Sue, no joy. So look, it's the man himself, Ronaldo, who's carrying the team. Even though the United fans don't accept it, the only one I'm scared of is him. I wasn't scared at first, but look, let me think about it. I don't want to say this because it's Ronaldo. As soon as you say something against Ronaldo, I don't know if he can hear everybody in the world. Even if you're in a pub and you say something bad about Ronaldo, even at Juve, he scores. It's just inevitable. So look, I know he's going to score. He's going to score. And I think he's somebody new in the Prem. Not a lot of strikers in the Prem like striking from far. Maybe Harry Kane sometimes, but he seems like he can just shoot from anywhere. So maybe keepers are not comfortable anymore. They're like, oh shit, he just shot. So it's Ronaldo for me. Bruno, I don't know what's happening. Again, I don't want to jinx it. Then he shows up tomorrow, becomes prime Ozil. But anyway, it's just Ronaldo for me. As I say, no Sue, no joy.
Yeah. We'll go to the United fans then. To you first, Maisy. Any City players you're worried about?
The only 2 City players that I would really watch out for one would be Phil Foden, because I think he's a very incredible youngster. He's very quick on the ball. He's got his pace on him, and he's playing as a false 9 in some games. So I think that can be quite concerning, depending on who our centre-back pairing is. And another one is Bernardo Silva, because he always seems to get a goal or assist somewhere in the Manchester derby. He always steps up his game. So they're the main 2 for me.
Yeah. Conor? Any City players you worry about?
Benjamin Mendy.
Bernard Mendy, you mean?
Bernard Mendy, yeah.
No, I'll be.
Well, if we're going to bring Mendy up, we won't say anything about Ronaldo, will we? Let's be honest about it.
Yeah, but we have plenty of City people, City players that I can bring up that definitely don't shit a great light on.
Let's just move on and leave them.
But for me, I will say I do agree that Phil Foden's a problem, and I will say one person who always seems to kind of show up here and there for City, that's going to be someone who is Stones. I swear, every single time he plays in the derby, he gets a goal. Or he's around the net for an assist. Something always happens with him.
Not last year, though.
Not last year, but it always seems like when Stones is up on a corner, something always happens for City. It's the most annoying, whether it's him heading the ball on himself or him helping to lead to a goal. He always seems to be in and around the ball on those corners when the ball goes in. So I'll say for me, it's Foden. And then as much as we want to bang on about it, it's Raheem Sterling's always going to be a problem. I mean, I think the Oscars are in a couple weeks, so the Best Acting Award's got to be something he's trying to get himself nominated for.
What has he done?
Same question to you, Red Devil Studio. Any players you worry about?
I think it's as Maisy has actually already said. Bernardo Silva and Phil Foden, I think, are definitely the threats. I think there's no doubt about that. Although, again, a lot of that does depend on the centre-back pairing that we play. I think that if we play, I even say play by Maguire, but Maguire is so bad now that that I don't even especially in that Atalanta game, it was almost feels like he's a liability. Like it literally looks like he is actually a liability. Like I don't think I watched a game when one defender is actually carrying the other defender. I'm not saying Baye
was not that great. Baye was not great that game. I'm not even gonna say. I'm not. Nah.
He saved like at least 3 or 4 chances. I appreciate that. Like you can maybe put him at fault for possibly the second goal, although you can make an argument that like
I don't think
Maguire
either of them were great. I think both of them were pretty shite.
What?
I think both. I think both.
We watched the same game.
I think both defenders honestly were pretty shy. I think Baye was better, but I think both weren't something that you can go, oh, one of them was great or one of them carried.
I don't know. I think I just from the amount of blocks that I saw that Baye do, especially like the amount of balls that were coming in and the clearances. I'm not saying that I never expect Baye to be a ball playing defender, but what I do expect him is like to at least defend and at least have a degree of positional sense. And my issue with Maguire, well, from what I've seen with Lindelof, is that like he's positional. He has no positional sense at all. Like he doesn't know where he is and what he's doing. Like, and my fear going into this game is if Ole Gunnar Solskjaer plays Maguire and Lindelof in that centre back, like it frankly doesn't matter what front three City play. Like they're just going to have tons of chances. So we need to at least have a semi-competent defender in that, and then the other City player I would say is going to be is Riyad Mahrez, because I think if Mahrez plays and has a good game, I think he could do bits against Shaw, who is he's not terrible, but like I just get the impression that Shaw is not really with it this season so far, and if Mahrez has a very good game, he could cause Shaw a lot of problems. So yeah, Silva, Mahrez, and Foden for me. And to be honest, even Gabriel Jesus, because I've seen Gabriel Jesus. I think Gabriel Jesus actually, I know he's been dropped recently, but the times I've seen him play, he's actually been pretty good for City. So for that type of player to come on, United have got their work cut for them. It's going to be at least, yeah, I'm not looking forward to this game. I'm really not, but yeah, go on.
Yeah. We'll go to team news then. We'll start with United as the home team. Varane is out. Varane won't play. Pogba's suspended as well. Lindelof's also doubtful, and you said something about before
Cavani's been
about
withdrawn from the national team,
Yeah.
so we're not sure he's going to be in as well.
Yeah, so a few big misses for United there. Do you think Pogba would have started if he was available?
Yeah, I actually believe he probably would have started, because he always does start against the derbies, and he is always that kind of influential player who you do want in the midfield, especially in a game like Manchester City. I think, though, from what I was reading, that Donny's supposed to be making his start against Manchester City. I don't know how true that is, but that's what I have been reading.
Yeah, because Fred's picked up a knock or something like that,
Fred's
and then you have
injured
Pogba's out. So it's basically either you do Matic and Scott. The only way he misses out is if you do Scott McTominay and Matic.
I can't see them doing that. I think that partnership would be dreadful.
Yeah.
I think it's going to be if they're going to do Donny, they'll probably do a Donny and Matic how they did in Everton in the pre-season.
Yeah. We'll go to City then. Bernard. Torres is out. We've known that for a while. Laporte suspended. And Walker's also doubtful. Limped off the other night. Do you think any of those would be a big miss for us?
Oh, Walker, definitely. I mean, we love Walker. I mean, Walker always puts it in. He's a great asset for his pace as well, which
that's the big thing.
We could need at the back against United, which is always a problem, or has been a problem for us. If they do sit back and try and, as they normally do, pick us off sometimes. That's what that's the tactics Ollie likes to play at times. So Walker's a big worry, to be honest with you, if he's not in. Apart from that, I think we've got 2 or 3 players that like you say, we're talking about Jesus and Mahrez and stuff there, and Sterling. But I mean, I don't even think those 3 will be starting the game. But it's going to be an interesting team for City. But yeah, I mean, as far as a miss is concerned, yeah, Walker's are really going to be a disappointment if he doesn't play. That'll mean Cancelo will obviously play it right back, which he can do. Nothing wrong with Cancelo. Good little player. He's impressing this season, but. That's a bit of a worry, Charlie. I must admit. I want Walker there, whatever happens, and hopefully he'll be okay.
Yeah. We'll do predicted lineups then. We'll start with United. So in goal, actually we'll go with formation first, because it ain't really like spot on what formation United will play.
It's difficult because we've played the 3-5-2 the past 2 games, but who knows? With Ole, you could easily see us revert back to the 4-2-3-1. So it's kind of just like, as much as I want to call down a formation, I could end up being completely wrong. But I think with us missing 2 center backs, and it pretty much has to be Maguire and Bailly, I think it will be the 4-2-3-1.
I agree completely. I think it's going to be the 4-2-3-1. I think even if there wasn't all these injuries, I think he would have reverted to that 4-2-3-1 just because it has been successful in derbies as well, and Ollie probably would want to revert back to that.
Yeah. We'll start with keeper then. It's going to be De Gea, surely.
De Gea.
De Gea without a doubt.
Yeah. To right back then.
Wan-Bissaka.
Wan-Bissaka right back. Is it Luke Shaw left back?
Yep.
Yeah,
I'd say Shaw.
As much as I would think maybe he might go Tellez, I think he'll continue to go with Shaw until Shaw gets injured.
Yeah. And then 2 centre backs. Who are we going for?
We have only 2. It's Bailly and Maguire. They're the only ones healthy.
Don't be tight. There's Phil Jones there as well.
This honestly makes me want back to Nzebe because he's actually been doing all right for Villa.
Yeah.
And then freaking Deschamps Bernard has just got the man of the match at Hull, and I'm like, just bring him in as well.
Yeah.
Midfield then.
I think it's
Fred.
going to be. Fred's apparently injured, isn't he? So
I don't know. Yeah, it's interesting to see what'll happen because he was left out last game, so I don't know if that was strategic for the derby or if that's a knock.
Is he injured?
I don't know because he didn't play. He was out of the squad last game.
I read he picked up a knock, and Donny's supposed to be starting.
Yeah. See, I have an interesting one here, and I actually would say if we want some real firepower, you go Donny and Bruno at the 2 pivots.
And then who'd you put up front in the cam?
I'd put Greenwood.
At cam.
Kind of to play off of Ronaldo.
Greenwood and Rashford don't. Well, I guess we don't have Cavani, don't we? Because I don't think that Rashford and Greenwood have the discipline to play as support strikers, as you kind of saw against Atalanta. Like you saw at times Rashford kind of going out wide, left, etc. So whereas Cavani kind of sticks a bit closer, was sticking a lot closer to Ronaldo, but obviously coming back. This is an interesting one.
Maybe Matic, and I wouldn't be surprised if he goes Matic and Scott.
Yeah,
or Van de Beek, or Van de Beek and Scott. Those are the only 2 that I could see happening.
I think that Van de Beek is so low priority, low choice. The way that, to be honest, I'd be very surprised if he picked him for the Manchester derby. So if Fred is not playing, then I think McTominay and Matic are going to be the 2. Which is
that doesn't upset me that much. That's actually a decent pivot because that basically means Matic is a 3rd center back who can kind of hang back and help defensively, and then McTominay's got pretty much all the license to go forward.
Yeah,
and go and try and score a goal.
Yeah. On the right, then, who are you going for?
I think it's going to be Greenwood. I don't think Sancho's going to start. I think he'll probably come
Greenwood.
on.
It'll be Greenwood. As much as I would think Sancho would be perfect for this game, I think it'll be Greenwood. I think it's just perfect because Sancho,
Yeah, on the left.
Rashford.
He's on such good form. You can't leave him out right now.
Yeah, and then I'm assuming it's Fernandes behind Ronaldo.
Yep.
Yeah.
Our three most consistent players right now are Ronaldo, Bruno, and Rashford. So it's really hard to leave any of the 3 of them out of the team right now.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So that's the United predicted 11 in goal. De Gea, back 4, Wan-Bissaka, Bailly, Maguire and Shaw, with McTominay and Matic just ahead of them. Greenwood on the right, Rashford on the left, and Fernandes behind Ronaldo. We'll go for City's predicted 11 then. Just get rid of all these.
It's a scary front 4 and a really heart attack inducing back 7.
Yeah.
If you just replace Van de Beek where McTominay was, I'd be like, okay, that might actually do something.
I do want Van de Beek to start. He had a very good cameo. It's just I honestly wouldn't mind McTominay and Van de Beek playing together. I don't think that'd be too terrible.
No, but he's not going to do it, unfortunately.
He won't.
He's just not.
Yeah, he's just not.
Yeah. Bernard, it's going to be a 4-3-3, isn't it?
Yeah, I mean, obviously the back six, if you like. I know it's not a back six in theory, but obviously it's got to be the Edison, Walker, Diaz, Stones, Cancelo, and Rodri as the sort of as the guys. I think most City fans would pick those guys, wouldn't they? I mean, to be honest with you, Laporte wasn't banned. I'd still pick Stones, but there you go. That's just how it is. But the fun starts after that. To be honest with you, doesn't it? I think, Charlie. To be honest with you, because I mean, I've done my little prediction here when I did my preview vlog, and yeah, I've got a couple of question marks. I put Gundogan and Bernardo. I put Gundogan in, but I don't think he perhaps deserves to be in, to be honest with you. So I would probably put KDB next to Bernardo there, and have Jesus up front with Foden and Grealish, and that's what I'd go with. Pep's going to throw a funny one in here. I can see a couple of changes to that, 2 or 3 changes to that easily, but. I've been in. I think Grealish and Foden. I think these guys underestimate Grealish. I think he's been talked down recently, and I don't see any reason why he has been. He's playing really well. But and Jesus as well. Not many people are expecting him to start, but I think he might be the wild card if Gundogan doesn't play, because it'll put KDB back a bit. But the good news for United is that KDB hasn't been on any real form at the moment, so we're hoping he'll start to hit it in this one, but on form, he probably wouldn't even play KDB, to be honest with you. That sounds daft, doesn't it, mate? But
what happened to Ilkay?
Yeah, he's back, but he's not sort of hitting the straps just yet. He's played for a couple of games. He's played the last couple.
He's not in the form he was last year.
Well, he's been injured this year, mate, so he's only just come back. So he's literally not had a chance really this year to get established again. So he will come good, but he does need a bit of time to get back up to pace, I think. But so I did stick him in, but as I said, I won't be surprised if he drops perhaps KDB back and Jesus comes. But I can't see Mahrez. I can't see Mahrez and Sterling, Charlie. I don't know what you think. I just can't see Mahrez.
Well, at least you don't have to worry about the striker scoring for you.
Well, this is the key to tomorrow, mate. If we can do what we can do and score, but if we start missing our chances, that sort of hands it to United in a way, because they can nick goals. They've got players who can score goals, and it's going to hinge on that. I think tomorrow. I think on paper, yes, City's is definitely a slightly better team, but it's if we can put our chances away. We certainly did the other night, but obviously I was at West Ham last week and we had 27 chances and didn't score one. So, there you go. That sort of sums it up.
I think you guys have a better defensive,
defensively
group. We have a better attacking group, and you guys have a better
back
defensive
six
group.
Picks itself now. We don't have any real messing about with that back six. Even say Laporte comes into the equation when he's available. But I mean, what do you think, Charlie? What do you think about that?
Yeah, I think maybe he may put Foden in the false 9 and Jesus on the right. But apart from that, I'd probably agree with it. As you said, the back six picks himself. I think Bernardo's one of the first names on the team sheet.
Yeah. And as I say, if Walker isn't fit, then obviously we'll have to rejig it as well. Obviously, Zinchenko probably comes into the equation as well, which I don't think he's done too bad at Old Trafford in the past, Zinchenko. So, I mean, I'll be
Green will eat him alive.
Yeah, but he's not played that many this season. That's the only worry with Zinchenko.
Yeah. So just to clarify, in goal is Edison, a back four, Walker, Stones, Diaz, Cancelo, Rodri, Bernardo and De Bruyne in midfield, with Grealish off the left, Foden on the right and Jesus up front.
Yeah,
Next
I'm
up
going
then.
for that. Yeah, apart from, I've got a question mark about Gundogan, but I don't see Mahrez or Sterling starting, but it's Pep, isn't it? So we don't know. He might see Sterling looked a bit more lively the other night, so you never know. You know what Pep's like. He'll spring the odd surprise.
You sound like a United fan talking about you never fucking know about what's getting thrown as our lineup.
Yeah. Next up then, combined 11. We'll do next.
Well, I think you automatically replace Jesus for Ronaldo.
Yeah.
Off the bat, I think that's a must. And as much as I think I'm probably going to get hate for this, I think you throw out either Silva or De Bruyne for Bruno Fernandes.
We'll go for it one by one. I'm assuming it would stay as a 4-3-3.
Yeah, I'd probably think so.
Yeah. So we'll start with you, Bernard. Who's your keeper?
Well, I don't think Gay's playing well again, isn't he, mate? But obviously, it's a funny one, that, isn't it? Because Edison suits us, but it doesn't suit other teams. So it's just a weird one. I I would probably on form. I would probably go for De Gea.
Yeah, you go to
Yeah.
on form.
The Gea in goal. Right back. We'll go to you again, Bird. Who are you saying?
Well, it's whether Walker's available, isn't it, mate? I don't know
Yeah.
if he is available. I think he is the best right back
Yeah.
there. But obviously, whether United fans agree, I don't know. But I think his passion and the way he plays, I think for certainly the combined team, week in week out, I'd always pick Walker. He's not perfect by any means, but if he's fit, I personally would. I don't know much about the United right backs, to be honest with you, so I can't really say that much about it.
Would you agree with that?
Well, the only reason I put Wan-Bissaka above it, because I assume the rules with this combined 11 are they have to be fit for the derby. So the only reason why I will put Wan-Bissaka with Walker is because from what we know, Wan-Bissaka is fit and Kyle Walker is not. That's literally the only reason.
Yeah, that'd be the only reason. That I think is fair. Is you have to put Wan-Bissaka because Walker's questionable at the moment.
Yeah, we just don't know, do we? Yeah.
Yeah. So Wan-Bissaka at right back. Let me just. There we go. Left back. Back to you again, Bernard. Who you saying?
Well, I like. Obviously Cancelo again. It's a funny one, isn't it? Because he's not a left back. He's an attacking left back, isn't he? That's the difference. But if he's playing left back, if Walker is playing, I think no one can touch him at the moment for form. But obviously, based on the fact of what we've got, obviously I do like Luke Shaw. I like Luke Shaw, but the guys were saying before he's not been in great form recently for United. I quite like Luke Shaw, but. If he's not playing right back, Cancelo, I'd stick him at left back. But again, it's a funny one, isn't it? That one, I'm not too sure. But there's not many better left backs, certainly on form at the moment in the league. I don't think.
Yeah, Luke Shaw is my favorite player. Like on United, like hands down, Luke Shaw is my favorite player. He has been for the past 3 years now, but he's not been on good form. He's been having a very average season compared to how I think if he was on the form. If this is last year. It's Luke Shaw, and it's no question because Luke Shaw was the best left back in the entire league last year. But I think on form, you can give it to Cancelo because I think Luke Shaw is not having nearly as good a year as he did last year.
Yeah. So at centre back then, back to you again, Bernard. Who are you saying?
Well, I wouldn't swap my two centre backs for any other. To be honest with you, I don't know what the United fans think, but
put both centre backs in.
Obviously, Varane's good, isn't he? But he's not playing. So Bally or Bailey, however you pronounce it.
I'd say Varane if he was healthy, but unfortunately, he's not.
On form, I wouldn't. To me, it's Diaz and Stones day in day out.
Yeah.
Yep, I don't have a problem with that.
Nope.
Yeah. Into midfield then. Who's playing in the defensive midfielder role?
Who've United got? Is it Fred? Is that there? You are.
It's got to be Rodri. I'll say now it's Rodri.
I'm just going to say Rodri's another form player at the moment, Rodri. But I mean, again, I don't know too much. The guys would have to tell me if the United guys doing it or not.
Literally, the only other United player I think that comes into this team is probably Ronaldo. I think every other position.
I think Bruno's still got to go. He's leading the league in chances.
It depends on. Is he having a better season than say like a Bernardo Silva though?
Yeah.
No.
I don't know.
Bernardo is flying. Bernardo Silva is flying. Absolutely flying. You said KDB, I would have said KDB isn't flying.
Yeah, exactly with KDB.
You can replace KDB if you like.
I mean, he's already got 4. He's got 4 goals and 3 assists this year. Are we really going to say he's not been doing that well? He's already on 7 goals and assists in 10 games. I can't really see us leaving him out of the combined 11.
It's not about. I guess it's performance though. So like, I'm not saying that you're not wrong, but like, I mean, I think just in terms of consistent performances across all competitions, like, even as a United fan,
I'm just gonna have to disagree, and I'm not going to change. If you guys want to put whoever, I'm just not going to change. I'm thinking that Bruno deserves to be in there.
Yeah. Well, I think Bruno could be in there with Bernardo.
Yeah, I think Bruno and Bernardo's fine.
Yeah,
I just don't think you leave Bruno out.
Are you fine with that, Red?
Yeah, no, I'll take it unless there's like another. I'm just because to be honest, like as far as most of the City midfielders have been better than ours. That's just my point on it. So I'm just thinking of the other City midfielders. You're right about KDB. Like KDB's not been around. Gundogan has just been coming back. Who else are we thinking of that's there? Rodri obviously we've already got already. Fernandinho hasn't really played, has he? Is there anyone else that I'm missing out city-wise, midfielder-wise?
Not
of course, United-wise, it's Van de Beek, Scott McTominay, and Matic. None of them are getting into the side.
They're not getting in.
Yeah.
So Okay, yeah, then put Bruno and Bernardo Silva in. That makes sense.
Yeah.
Right, so we need the guys up front with Ronaldo now, don't we? Really? I mean, Foden's got to be in, guys. I feel Foden's got to be in there, whatever happens.
Yeah,
I'd say Foden. I know I'm going to probably have to argue my case here again, but I'd go Foden and Rashford on form, because Rashford on form right now has got 3 goals in 5 games since he's come back. So on form, Rashford's been blazing hot.
Yeah,
so
I'd say Rashford or Grealish, but I mean, obviously, I won't. If you're telling me Rashford's been on form, fair enough. Obviously, he's a bit in and out, isn't he? But if he has been on form,
but yeah, he's back for 5 games. Back for 5 games, and he's got 3 goals.
Rashford.
Yeah, I'd agree with that as well. To be honest, with Grealish hasn't been the greatest recently. As you said, Rashford's playing well.
I think that's a really good team.
Guys, that'll be all right. That might win the Champions League even. We'll get it combined.
Yeah. So we'll run through the team. In goal, De Gea. Back 4, Wan-Bissaka, Diaz, Stones, and Cancelo. We are saying if Walker was fit and Varane was fit, they're both coming into the team.
Swap, yeah.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. And then Rodri, Bruno, Bernardo, and then the front 3 of Foden, Ronaldo, Rashford. It's a pretty good team.
I think getting 5 United players into that combined 11 is a pretty good achievement for us right now at the moment.
Well, I think that sums up form, doesn't it? I mean, let's face it. I mean, KDB, you would imagine being there every day of the week, but obviously on form at this point in time, probably not.
Yeah, and of course, if we were completely healthy, you'd have Varane in there, and like you said with Walker, you'd have Walker in there instead of Wan-Bissaka. So it's all on form and who's available right now. That's basically decided a lot of this 11.
Yeah. The final question of the stream then. Score predictions. Okay. We'll start with you, Bernard. What are you saying?
I don't tend to do them on mine, but I used to do them in the past. I used to have a little betting thing as well where I used to commit myself and stuff like that. But I hope it's not a 0-0. I hope it's not a drab 0-0 like it was last year, and both teams attempt to win the game. I've got to go 2-1 City, but say it's one of those. I think it's going to be quite an interesting game tactically wise as well tomorrow. But I'll have to go 2-1 City, won't I? But there you go. I could have gone a bit crueler, but I won't. I'll just say 2-1 for City.
Yeah, I'll say 2-1 as well, because I just can't say us losing against United. It'd hurt too much. Conor, what score are you saying?
I'm going to go 2-1 United. I'm never going to ever call for United to lose, and I don't want to see us draw because it's so boring if we draw. But I think it might be. And I like Football United TV. I think it's – and just like Bernard said, it's going to be Ronaldo.
Yeah.
We're going to frustrate the hell out of you all game. It's going to be 1-1 until about the 88th minute, and then Ronaldo's just going to show up, and City fans are going to have their hearts broken.
Yeah, and Red Devil Studio, what score are you saying?
It's weird because we usually counter-attack against City, but I've just noticed that we don't seem to counter. Not that it's Ronaldo's fault, but we don't seem to just counter-attack as quickly when we play with Ronaldo for some reason. So I don't know whether we're going to counter at the same pace with the players that we have. There's also a big part of me that thinks that somehow Fred and Lindelof are going to get into this team. So because it looks like I don't see any Fred injury news, and I suspect with Ollie he'll try and get Lindelof into the squad, as much as he can. So based on that information, and also how we've been sort of defending recently, in that we've not kept a clean sheet we kept the clean sheet against Spurs, but that was 1 in the last 20 or something ridiculous like that. I never like going against my team, but I just have I have a sinking feeling. I really, really have a sinking feeling. So I'm gonna have to go 3-1 Manchester City. I don't like saying that at all. I really, really don't. But I have a bad feeling. Let's put it that way.
Yeah, I think most neutrals would go for City. Let's be honest about it. Most football people would probably go for City, but derbies, as I say, they just it doesn't always go to plan.
Well, you say that, but maybe it's because the Liverpool game is still fresh. It's like that should have been the biggest game, and yet we got spanked 5-0. Like that was an absolute disgrace, an absolute shambles. And so, at least for me anyway, psychologically, it's kind of like if we can lose that badly and be so disinterested as a team from what should be one of the biggest games of the season, then how can I expect this team to sort of be up for the Manchester City for playing against Manchester City? You know,
it's turned into what I think for both teams. It's not turned into another must-win game, isn't it? Or is it going to turn into a must-not-lose game like it did last season? That's what worries me. But say we're only what 11 games in after this is played, but it's already turned into one of these where, you know, as a United fan, you want them to win it. As a City fan, we want us to win it. It's just
there's no reason
so important at this early stage. You'll go level on points with us unless you beat us by 5 clear goals. You'll still be one place below us, but it's so important for both teams. I think tomorrow it's for a neutral point of view, as usually they are. The Manchester derbies are usually very, very good. They're not always, obviously, but you know, it's a great match to watch as a neutral. I think it's one of the best derbies in the world as far
Form's
as
out the window. It's all about the rivalry on Derby Day.
So we'll see. It'll be. I think an early goal is important. I think United are quite capable. They do score early of hanging on and frustrating City. That's the thing. But if City get an early goal, a bit like Liverpool, confidence will rise and it may turn a little bit nasty.
I think if one team can score within the first 30 minutes, it'll be a big impact on how the game goes the rest of the 60.
Yeah. Well, from what I can understand about City don't seem to be a team that like really comes back from like going behind. Like I've just noticed it. Like Manchester United do, we're comeback FC all the time. But what I've noticed with City is that like when you guys concede, you just don't either a maximum draw. But essential things, I don't see many games where City have like been behind either by 1 or 2 goals and actually been able to overturn that and win the games. I just have not really seen that from this Manchester City side. So you're right. If United do score first, then I think United will probably win. But I think if City score first, you know, then I think it's probably going to.
I think we showed a bit of metal at Anfield coming down from 1-0 down and 2-1 down. But I do agree in principle with what you're saying. But we can do it. But it's a team ethic and whether the guys are up for it on the day. Sometimes like they did against Palace, we get a bit irate and a bit sulky and stuff. So it'll be interesting. I think it'll be a really good game, but not from a fan's point of view because we're too much involved, aren't we, guys? Sometimes to really enjoy them. But there you go.
You get too into it to actually enjoy it as much as it should be. Yeah.
Just before we wrap it up, we'll start with you, Bernard. Where can we find you, mate?
Yeah, just as I say, if you go to @CharlesDenis, my Sunday name @CharlesDenis, Bernard @CharlesDenis on Twitter, and all my links to the podcast I'm involved with in my YouTube channel for football and TV and film as well. So you want a little rest from football. If you're suffering tomorrow night and you want to have a break from footy for whatever reason, go and have a look at that. Just get me on Twitter and all the links are on there. No problem.
Yeah, all his links are in the description, like everyone. Conor, where can we find you, mate?
Yeah, on Twitter, I'm under my thing down there at the bottom. Yank Talking Smack. I don't really post on that channel on YouTube anymore. I'm on the Blue Podcast, but we've taken a bit of a break. Usually you can find me on Rich Sports quite often, and then I'm going to be on the Man United Agenda later today at, I think, 10 p.m. UK.
Yeah. And Red Devil Studio, where can we find you, mate?
Yeah, so I'm on Twitter at We Are United X. That's my Twitter handle, and I also have a Manchester United fan channel called Red Devil Studio. That's not an S; it's just Red Devil Studio. So you can find me there, where I just post United videos, discuss general football topics, and often get people on to discuss when I've got free time.
Yeah. Cheers all for coming on. Big up Maisy and Patrick, who were on earlier as well. But we'll wrap it up there. It's a big day tomorrow. It's Derby Day. We're hoping for fireworks after bonfire night. And everyone take care, and I'll see you all later.
Take care. Cheers.